then integrity is an invitation for us to be connected to that vision. We could build this really strong, pretty room, and unless we had an integrous foundation underneath it, it would all collapse down. So we can have a big, beautiful vision for the world, but we need to be embodying integrity so that we build this solid foundation for our vision to grow from. Just like in the yoga practice, right? How often do we hear, check your posture, check your alignment, check your foundation, like over and over and over as we're doing these poses. It's all about where's the integrity in the pose. It's not about how far you can stretch. It's about the integrity of the pose and union with the breath and with the body. If that's there, then the stretch is possible to go further. And it's possible to make a really positive difference in our bodies and our minds and our spirits and our world. So the same is true for our daily choices, for the everyday actions that we take. Here we go. The proof of how disconnected we've become, a really great example is, we say we're going to throw something away. Where's away? Where's away? We've actually been tricked into believing there's something called away. Whoa. We got some work to do. Because we make choices that pretend like there's such a thing as away. And yet the reality is that every choice has a thread that's connected before it and after it. If we had to be present to who makes everything that we buy and or throw away, what are their lives like? Where are the resources coming from that make this thing that I'm buying? What's happening to the earth there? And then after I throw it away or even recycle it, what is that thread? Who is being impacted? Where is being impacted from this choice every moment of every day? If we had to walk the impact of every choice that we made every day, I think our actions would begin to shift. Because love would call us to make a different choice. And this again is where it's not out of judgment, it's about asking ourselves, what would love choose in this moment? I do not feel that love would choose for us to throw away our earth and to throw away people. In America, we consume approximately 14 generations worth of the Earth's resources in one single generation. 14 generations worth in one generation. We are literally stealing from future generations, and then unfortunately, a lot of that we're throwing away. So if we have this vision for a beautiful world, and it's a big, beautiful vision, we might want to look at how we're throwing away that vision every single day. I don't use plastic cups, paper cups, plastic to-go containers, plastic bags, paper towels, paper napkins, paper bags, plastic utensils, any of those things. I use my little water bottle. I'm just showing you so you have ideas for yourself, not so you go, oh good, look at Julia. Here's my container that goes with me everywhere I go. Here's my napkin that goes with me everywhere I go. Here's my utensil set made by a women's cooperative and a women's business that gives the money back to women. Carry with me everywhere I go. So my bag, various bags, backpacks, I take with me everywhere I go. Is it simple? No. Is it always easy? No. Especially when we're interacting with the programming of our reality in our world. You know, like sometimes I'm on the road a lot, I'll go to get some tea, and I'll be like, can you put this tea in my mug? And then I have to explain to them before they make it, and can you not make it in a paper cup first and then put it in my mug? Because the amount of times that happens, I'm like, oh, I have to like be completely 5 steps ahead, and then sometimes you still tell them, and then they kind of freak out. They're like, well, how do I know how much to put in there? You can see like the smoke curling out of the ears, right? Like, warning, programming alter, programming alter. Just guess. Charge me for a wrong day, it'll be okay. Oh, laughter is such great medicine. Because there are times where it's like, oh my God! So we have to recognize that to make these daily shifts, in many ways are some of the hardest shifts we're going to make, because we have an entire societal system designed for us to be disconnected, designed for us to trash our planet, designed for us to trash our bodies. Every time we use a plastic cup, it is the same thing as cutting the hole even bigger for the oil that's spilling out in the Gulf right now. I invited people in the workshop today that if you don't have a reusable mug or a reusable water bottle today and you can't buy one here, I'm not sure if they're selling them here or not, take your plastic cup that you have, write your name on it, use it for the rest of the weekend. Not because you should, not because you feel bad, but because it's a sacred offering, an energetic offering of healing towards that wound that's spewing out in the Gulf right now. What a way to live our lives, right? That it's not a to-do list, because things always fall off the to-do list. I don't want to invite you to start another to-do list. I want to invite you to ask yourself, what would love say in this moment? What would love do in this moment? How would love call me to stretch in an uncomfortable space, like carrying a bunch of stuff around with me all day, every day, having people freak out, having people make fun of me, having people attack me, just smile and saying, yeah, I know I'm weird. It's true, it's cool. Love you too. And then we extend that daily choice out into the rest of our lives. It's like there's so many things we can look at, and it's all the stuff we kind of forgot about because it became a little bit passé, that whole like reduce, reuse, recycle thing. Part of the reason we forgot about it is we started focusing on recycling. Why? Because then we can still consume. That's why. Actually, corporations spent billions of dollars. Corporations spent billions of dollars advertising recycling. So they didn't want you to pay attention to reduce. It was not good for their bottom line. Reduce, reuse, recycle. To make it alive and present for me, I add on first respect and rethink. If I respect this global family that I'm a part of, I automatically begin to rethink my choices and ask myself, how can I live more in alignment with that vision? And then I reduce, reuse, recycle, and then I added at the end, rejoice. We gotta celebrate. Life can be intense, life can be difficult, life can be challenging. As we become aware, oftentimes it actually invites in new challenges that weren't there when we weren't aware. And it can be easy to shut down and get overwhelmed. It is important to rejoice, to celebrate the miracle of our lives, to celebrate the miracle of one another, to celebrate that incredible privilege that we get to be here this weekend. We are not hungry. We are not worrying about bombs dropping on us. We are here doing asana together. We are here giving a huge gift to ourselves. What an incredible privilege. We can then, through love, say, how can I offer that privilege to the world? And finally, I'd like to invite you to extend that daily action into community and to extend what community means. Because we tend to create our little comfort zones in community. And in that comfort zone, we're not being the full expression of what's possible for community. I mean, this is a really blunt and intense thing to say, but we can look at the levels of management to daily workers in this hotel and see a very clear difference in the cultural race background. I am not saying that with judgment. I'm not saying that to make anybody wrong. I'm not saying that to make anybody feel bad. I'm just inviting it into our awareness that as a collective society, we've inherited a world that has us be disconnected from one another. And so I want us to heal that disease of disconnect by extending what community means. If you have a yoga studio or you're a yoga teacher, I invite you to extend beyond the community that you know. Reach out to a service-based organization in your community and offer them free classes in your workshop or in your yoga studio so that they can have this gift as they're in service, in seva, in the world. There's amazing individuals and organizations doing work with youth who are considered at risk, with people in prisons. So many ways that this idea of community, and in particular yoga community, is expanding. I invite all of us to be willing to go into that uncomfortable zone without judgment, but with love. That says, how can I personally, it's different for all of us, but how can I personally expand my idea of community, my breadth of community, so that we can expand this gift. And then through that, we can help heal our wounded family. Because that's how it happens, just like in a yoga posture. Connecting to the breath, connecting to the foundation, and then reaching out with love and compassion. Anything is possible. And so with that, thank you for making a world where everything beautiful and loving is possible. Oh!
saw 11th year, no one's ever gotten a standing ovation. You're a superhero. Julia was talking about celebrating. We have an incredible opportunity to celebrate with Tony Bergen. She leads this very, very unique journey dance.